Uncle Sam is running on empty, but he's still buying a war he can't afford. While Washington prints another trillion, the world is preparing for a post-American reality. This is the $39 trillion trap. The United States is facing a perfect storm, a crisis that is testing the very foundations of its global power. We can no longer ignore the massive contradiction between Washington's geopolitical ambitions and its empty pockets. The nation that for decades acted as the undisputed guarantor of the world order is now in a desperate position. Its war machine has crashed head-on into an unpayable mountain of debt. Let's put it in plain English. If a business spends more than it earns for years, eventually the bank calls it in, and you go bankrupt. It's that simple. Even my grandmother understands that this is unsustainable. So, how does the US survive? By running the printing press. The dollar is the world's reserve currency, but that card has a limit. When the rest of the world stops trusting your currency, that printer is just churning out wet paper. To keep the world accepting those greenbacks, the US needs to project stability and strength. Instead, we are seeing the exact opposite. A president who promised to end endless wars has just launched one of the most expensive and controversial military episodes in recent history. The timing couldn't be worse. The national debt has soared past $39 trillion, and the MAGA movement itself, the very base that put Trump in power, is showing deep internal fractures. Folks, Uncle Sam is trying to pay for a war with a bounced check. This is driving oil prices up, gas prices through the roof, and creating a global domino effect of inflation. The hegemon is currently walking a tightrope with its pants down, exposing its vulnerabilities to the entire world. And when global trust breaks, there is no printer on earth that can save an empire, unless it achieves the impossible, defeating its new Vietnam, the Islamic Republic of Iran. Let's be real, either the US scores a total victory or the petrodollar and American hegemony are over. Iran is the final exam to see if the empire is still alive, or if it's just a walking corpse. To understand the current debt crisis, we have to look back. U.S. sovereign debt is as old as the Republic itself, starting with $75 million to fund the Revolutionary War. But today, it has ballooned into a $39 trillion monster. What was once a temporary tool for emergencies has become a permanent, structural addiction that depends entirely on one thing: global trust. As long as the world buys oil in dollars, the throne is safe. But if that trust vanishes, the hegemon falls. Right now, the Strait of Hormuz is the world's jugular. Any disruption there sends energy prices into orbit, triggering a massive feedback loop of inflation and higher interest rates. And here's the irony. The U.S. Department of Defense is one of the largest fuel consumers on Earth. Their own estimates show that every $10 increase in a barrel of oil adds $1.3 billion to their annual operating costs. War is a great business when you fight it on someone else's soil, sell the weapons, and then get paid to rebuild the ruins. But it's a terrible deal when you miscalculate and the bill comes out of your own pocket, the American taxpayer's pocket. However, there's a dark gray zone we can't ignore. While the nation bleeds financially, analysts are flagging unusually well-timed stock trades in defense and energy sectors, made by circles close to power just moments before Trump's major presidential announcements. It begs the question, are we witnessing the greatest inside job in the history of warfare? The doubt is there, and it seems the profits of a few are being paid for by the taxes of the many. Now, let's talk about political capital. J.D. Vance. The vice president, an Iraq veteran, and once a fierce critic of endless wars, is now living his own contradiction. While he maintains ironclad loyalty to Trump in public, reports from Politico suggest a deep-seated private skepticism. which translates into his notoriously evasive answers to the press. Vance is at a crossroads. If he resigns, it's political suicide. If he stays, he becomes the very bureaucrat he once despised, sending young Americans to die in the same kind of war he swore to destroy. His survival as the heir to the MAGA movement hangs by a thread. If this war is short, he'll spin it as a triumph of America first. But if it turns into another Afghanistan, his anti-interventionist credibility will be the anchor that sinks his presidential ambitions forever. While Vice President Vance clings to his office, hoping for a quick exit from the war to save his career, Joe Kent has just walked away. As the director of the National Counterterrorism Center, Kent didn't just resign, he blew the whistle by leaving. Kent isn't just another bureaucrat. He's a Special Forces veteran with 11 combat deployments over 20 years. As the man coordinating intelligence for all 17 U.S. agencies, he had a front-row seat to the truth about Iran. And then, Kent dropped a bombshell in his resignation letter, and I quote, "I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation." Coming from the man who saw all the classified intelligence, those words are a death blow to the official narrative. This isn't just politics for him, it's personal. In 2019, Kent lost his wife, Shannon, a fellow service member, to a suicide bombing in Syria. That loss defined his stance on the endless wars Washington loves to fund. While Vance measures his words to keep his West Wing desk, Kent sacrificed his position to keep his soul. One seeks power, the other seeks the truth he owes to his late wife. Kent should be a national hero, yet he's being pushed into the shadows. His resignation isn't just a memo, it's a warning. If more high-level patriots like Kent follow suit, the U.S. military's ability to project power will crumble from within. The question remains, are there any true heroes left in Washington? Or will the war machine simply buy their silence with more printed dollars? The war in Iran has accelerated a massive shift in the global world order. This conflict has deepened the energy crisis and exposed the fragile reality of an economy that still depends on a Persian Gulf in flames. It has isolated the United States from European allies who, after being called cowards by Trump, are now actively seeking financial alternatives outside of Washington's control. But the most critical failure is how this war has exposed the tension between America's national interest and its foreign entanglements. While Donald Trump struggles to find an exit strategy from this labyrinth, China and Russia are watching from the shadows, waiting for the collapse of a giant wounded by its own $39 trillion debt. The question remains, is this war the final checkmate for the US dollar and American hegemony? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching until the end. If you found this information valuable, please share this video, leave a comment, and hit the like button, sending a message of peace and hope to all of you. I'll see you in the next one.
This is the price of power.